Okay, so it's sort of what I went to a Japanese shrine today. It's New Year here, so Happy New Year to all of you. And I went to a Japanese shrine in my local area, which is interesting because this is a small neighborhood, and there's not much to see or do. We don't even have many restaurants or cafes here. So I went to a shrine, and it was quite a surprise because it's not one of Japan's larger shrines, like Fushimi Inari, which is a very popular shrine in Kyoto, as well as Iseshima, which is quite a distance away, but is a very large shrine. But I was surprised by the turnout. There were so many people there. And the reason it was interesting is because on New Year's Eve into January 1st, Japanese spend the time with their families, usually at home. So, it's a family gathering. They have traditional food and ring in the new year. And as I mentioned in my previous video, New Year in Japan is a lot like Christmas in the West. So it's a big event relative to how we celebrate Christmas. So I noticed when I went out on New Year's Day that there were many people walking in the park with their families, and it was just interesting just to see people, entire families together just strolling in the park, and that was cool. And of course I'm alone, so felt like a little bit of an oddball, but that's all right. So then I noticed the same thing on January 3rd, which was yesterday. People walking in the park, and quite interesting. So, I'm sorry, January 2nd, forgive me. Today is January 3rd. So, January 3rd, I assume that, now that sort of the new year has been brought in, that many Japanese are now sort of, going to go out and sort of, ring in the new year with either going shopping or, going to restaurants and such. But there were many at the shrine, so I was surprised, especially, as I mentioned, this being a small neighborhood. So I went there, and obviously not, being Japanese, not being familiar with the customs, even though I've been to Shinto shrines before. My first year in Japan, I went with a group of friends, and was very important to them to go there. So that was a unique experience. Now, yesterday, now first, where are we going? So that's a different story. I'm actually going on my daily walk. I usually go every morning, and I haven't done it yet, and it's getting late in the day. So I need to go on my daily walk. But what we're doing today is I met this guy 2 weeks ago in the park. He was walking as well, I guess doing his daily walk. And he's from the West Indies. And so I was just wrapping up my walk, and we decided to walk together. So he told me that he walks to a certain point along his route, and I've never been to that point. I know the route, but never been there. So decided today to take this opportunity while making the video. What is Shinto religion? Well, Shinto is the native religion of Japan, and it's really focused on harmony and appreciation for nature, a great appreciation for nature. And that's what's called kami. And so the sort of appreciation is really focused on things like trees, rivers, and mountains. And then the other element of it is really sort of the figures as it relates to Shinto. So you can sort of see Shinto in many examples at Japanese shrines. So for example, like the lions and dragons and such. So that's really sort of the core principles of Shinto. And then what you have is Shinto is focused more on sort of life events. And that's reflected in a couple of ways. So obviously things like marriage and birth, and there are festivals to celebrate such things, seasonal. And so that's another extension of Shintoism. Now, this is not sort of the, sort of, what's the word, concrete explanation of it, but just giving you sort of the principles. And then the other element is really sort of living in harmony with others. A very big sort of element of Shintoism and gratitude. So if you look at many of the things that define Japanese culture, there's a lot of peace and harmony, and then sort of the expression of gratitude, and many Japanese do that at various points throughout the year, and especially the New Year. And so those are really sort of the characterizations of Shintoism. I went to the shrine and was, again, really surprised, again, at the number of people who were there. But I didn't want to make a spectacle of it by recording a video, but just really sort of practicing that, sort of, again, sort of the gratitude for it. Now, one of the things that, to be clear about with Shintoism, is that Shintoism has no connection to the afterlife, the way some other religions do. Let's say, obviously, Christianity. And then there is no founder for Shintoism, so there's no central figure for Shintoism the way you have in Christianity or Islam. So those are some interesting aspects of Shintoism. And then there is no scripture. So nothing sort of with a religious reference the way the Bible or the Quran would have. Went there and offered my prayer and things to be grateful for. And I think obviously you hear a lot about gratitude, for example, but I think really sort of brought things sort of, I think, into greater context for me when I saw everyone there. And as I talked about in my previous video about the differences between the Western countries or Western culture and Japan during Christmas, I think it's important to highlight sort of what happens in terms of the Japanese celebration of their own unique holidays. So after making my offering and prayer, you get what's called Omikuji. And Omikuji is really sort of the, I guess, predictions or outlook for the year to come. And so my Omikuji was neither great nor bad, just sort of stay the course. But it's I think in terms of what it represented were some really guiding principles that I could appreciate and will do my best to keep in mind throughout the year. So my Omikuji was, the blessings of the wind and the waves will carry my boat forward smoothly. There may be setbacks and difficulties that I encounter along the way, but with gratitude and sincerity, I will be prosperous. It says, follow or be committed to your desires faithfully and calmly, and the journey will ultimately deliver me to my destination. And I just thought that was really cool. And the things that I think about day to day, the things that I want, things that I pray for, that was a really reassuring message. And so I won't share with you what it is that I'm praying for or sort of focused on every day, but I just wanted to share with you what that tradition looks like and what it means, and even what it meant for me today in terms of my experience at my local shrine. This is one stretch of the path that I walk daily. I usually wake up early in the morning. During the summer, it could be about 4:15 in the morning. The sun comes up very early here, but since it's winter, I don't particularly enjoy waking up early in the morning and going out in cold weather. So I've been going a bit later, but it's really nice. It's very tranquil. I see many people, familiar faces along the way, particularly elderly. They usually greet me, which is nice, and some even stop to talk to me. So that's pretty cool. But I'm a little farther along the path than I usually am because of the individual that I met 2 weeks ago. I just want to see the point that he walks to. So one of the nice things about walking this path is the scenery and the nature. I see it daily, but it's nice to see it change season after season. And of course, it's good to just get my daily walk in, but I'm curious to see what this point is all about. We're getting near. So here we are, and it is as good as advertised. We're just ahead of sunset, and it's beautiful out here. So I'm glad that I made the trip. Happy New Year. So she was kind enough to say Happy New Year to me, so that was very cool. Again, people in this area are very friendly, and that's one of the things I really enjoy about living here. Now this is the Yodogawa River. I'm quite familiar with this river. I've been in this area for close to 5 years now. So my apartment pretty much is adjacent to the river. One of the reasons this area is not that attractive is because it's below sea level. So it can be prone to flooding. Hopefully that won't happen, but yeah, that's one of the characteristics of this particular area. But it's such a nice area here. It's absolutely beautiful. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Ah, samui desu. So here it is, and it's pretty fantastic. So I have to say that I'm grateful to that gentleman that I met 2 weeks ago. We had a nice long walk for about 90 minutes, and we talked about various things. Our experiences here in Japan, and then Japan overall. But in context, I'm grateful to have come here, because I wouldn't have come here if I didn't listen to him and the path that he takes in the park every day. I don't take this path, so going forward I will take this path so that you can see this type of scenery here. I think is pretty cool. But then also in context, the experience at the shrine earlier, seeing the Japanese ritual, and it's not the first time that I've seen it, but I think as I spend more years here, spend more time here, having more of a connection to it. So I think that's why it was such a unique experience among my many experiences here. But then also my Omikuji, my message or my outlook for the year, and the things that I've been thinking about. So I think just being mindful of that message, the gratitude, the resilience, the sincerity, and then just sort of even during tough times, just staying focused on those things that are important to me, the goals and so forth, are the things that, I think are really important points for the year. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I can't tell you about Shintoism or Buddhism. I can only tell you about what I've seen or observed here. But if you have any questions about Osaka or my neighborhood, leave those questions in the comment section below. And if you have anything that you'd like to share, be sure to leave those in the comment section below. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video soon.